Hello. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been excited about showing up or fulfilling a promise when you've promised somebody something and then you show up and you actually do what you promised? That's me. I promise that I will be here for the 31 days of December 2021, empower you, inspire you, encourage you to walk boldly, fearlessly into 2022 and beyond whilst you're shifting from fear to freedom. So, welcome to day 5. Today, we're going to talk about living and enjoying your life instead of rushing through it. I sigh because I'm a mental health therapist in addition to being a coach and a motivational speaker. So as a therapist, I've been in private practice for over 20 years now. And it just never ceases to amaze me how many people are just rushing through life and not even pausing to realize and recognize how they're living moment to moment. So I'm very happy to have this discussion with you. Happy because I hope I can remind you to not rush into life, but to be able to enjoy living in the moment. So let me begin by asking this question. Are you living your life or are you rushing through it? In our hectic world, especially right now, it's easy to forget that living needs us to be alert and intentional. Moving from fear to freedom will require you to really focus on who you are and how you're living your life, which means really seeing yourself as a human being rather than, a machine that is just ongoing, or rather than a false identity. When, I'm married and I'm Mrs. So-and-so, I am Brandon's mother, or I am Brian's mother, or I am, Gregory's wife, or, I have this many degrees and I'm a businesswoman. That's not what I'm talking about. That is what we call a false identification, because then it's just on the surface. I always ask audience when I'm speaking this question. I say, how many times have you said, I am a massage therapist, I am a parent, I am a spouse, I am the firstborn of so-and-so's parents? Many hands go up. And pretty much I can safely say all of the hands go up. So what if instead you described yourself as a being? You really dig deeper and you really begin to know who you are so that you can show up correctly. You need to be willing to take a look at yourself and see what you possess, your strengths, and what's missing, the weaknesses, and then fill in those gaps in your life. So quick tips on how to do that. I do full-fledged courses, webinars, seminars, conferences in the Empowerment Academy. Just in case you haven't looked in it, please go to www.drstemi.com. The website is right here with this posting. But here are quick tips on how to, look at that. Look in the mirror every morning and greet yourself with a gaze. Gaze in your own eyes and say, good morning. Who am I? Wait for a minute to see what response comes up when you're looking right in your eyes and you ask the question, who am I? Then write down the responses that come up. No matter how silly, strange, or mundane, just don't judge yourself, just write them down. Repeat this exercise in the evenings where you go before the mirror and look at yourself in the eyes and ask yourself, who am I? After a while, you may notice that you're beginning to write responses also of who you want to be. Instead of identifying yourself with the situations and people that raised you, circumstances that raised you, you begin to turn it around and rewrite what comes up. So continue that exercise at least twice a day for a week. Then read your list and notice which responses strike a chord or emotional responses in you, which responses really truly feel, true to you. So that's one way. And then another way is I want you to take, again, a piece of paper. I would have a journal that is just specific for the fear to freedom journey, and have a whole, clean journal to write all the questions that I've been asking, that I'll ask in the 31 days. So the second thing is list 10 things that you're proud of. And write those 10 things every day. I am proud of, and then write 10 things every day for also at least a week and see what comes up. At the end of the week, look at your list. What do these things have in common? Why are you proud of them? What is the thread that connects those things to the way that you feel about yourself? By you studying your list, you will discover some of your best qualities. Perhaps even compassion, courage, honesty, your perseverance, your generosity. But it's going to be helpful for you to look at that list so you can better understand yourself, where your strengths are, your passions lie, and also how to move from just the list to actually living that life instead of just rushing through it without even pausing and paying attention. Number 3, ask your friends and family, what are my greatest qualities and strengths? And just be open to see what they say. Here's what I was saying. The best way to do that is to send a question. If you have, create a WhatsApp family group and just, ask that question. Or if you don't want to hear from other people, ask that question in, one sentence, copy and paste it to people's text messages and just have them text message back to you the answers. It's going to be interesting what others see of you. Don't judge yourself. Don't buy into the ones that are negative about it, because many people will judge us based on one incident that happened in our lives, and then they, put us in this box because of that incident. So don't put yourself in the box, just in case you get that one answer. Open your mind and heart to possibilities of what, people can say to you. So by doing so, by being open and not, shutting down or even being resentful of people's answers or your answers yourself, you will be able to free yourself to shift again from that fear place to freedom. So the reflection today is for you to take time and continue the mirror exercise, where you stand in the mirror in the morning, stand in the mirror at night, ask yourself, who am I? And write those things down. This is what we do when we're trying to move forward so that we can do and be better than the last versions of who we were as we shift from fear to freedom. If you have any questions, don't forget, feel free to please send me questions, make comments under these videos, and just let me know what you think. Watch, if you've watched, snippets, and this is the first one that you're watching, we have prior videos that are prior to this day, and we are going to have many more because I'm doing these videos for 31 days until we get into the new year 2022. So once again, be encouraged.